Hey guys, what's up? So I'm finally gonna unbox my Christmas stuff finally, and I got one more thing on the way. CD by a Hungarian metal band called Die Katafelki, I think is the name of it, and then the CD's called the Rengetag, but was out of stock when I ordered it, so um, it's not here yet. But the last thing item that was in stock just arrived today. So, anyways, I'm gonna unbox these, and let's see here. First one I'm gonna do is Pulp Fiction DVD. This is easily my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. One of my favorite movies of the '90s. It's kind of grown off me a bit recently, but I still enjoy it, I'd say. Anyways, let's get that out as a download code. I will use the movie ones. So, anyways, now put this back in here. Anyways, so that's that, and also this Ray Ayanami plushie came. It's really cute. So I just thought I'd get this. So that looked cute. Thought I'd finally get some Ray Evangelion merchandise since I love the show so much. And it came with this little thing in her skirt thing. Um, anyways, Asuka Funko Pop. They don't have one of Ray. They only have one of Asuka. And hopefully they make more in the future. This is a limited edition one, it looks like. One thing I had a problem with at first is I like to keep them outside the box, as you can see, but I like to keep them. So this one couldn't stand on its own. I was like, crap. This one actually looks pretty nice. I know a lot of people don't really like Funko Pops. They're kind of cringy to own. I still like him, though. I like him. I think it's a cool thing to own. I like the design of him and stuff, personally. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I kind of like him though. But anyway, so this is a little stand that comes on so she can stand up and stuff, you know. And she looks really nice. It's probably one of the nicer Funko Pops I own. I really like the red glossy thing on her. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, that's Asuka. I think when I first watched the show, I hated Asuka, but now I like her a lot though. But I don't like her as much as Ray, but I still like her a lot. They probably made one of her because I think she's the most popular one. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, I suppose. Put this crap back. Okay. That's Asuka. And let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, hold on. So let me go into the CDs. So this is Get Color by Health, and if you watch that concert video, I saw this group live when they were playing with Daughters. I mainly came to see Daughters, but I liked Health. I already knew about them, and I already liked them a lot when they were playing. I liked Show Me the Body too. I liked all three of the groups, but Daughters and Health I liked a lot more personally. And actually, one thing I'm kind of embarrassed about, I'm not sure if they'll see this video, is I usually don't really keep track on what band members look like unless they're one of my all-time favorites, you know? So if I would have known this, I would have had this guy sign my autograph and thanked them for his amazing music he makes. But the bassist was at the merch stand, the bassist of Health, and then he went up there playing, and I was like, oh, okay, that was him. I should have said something. Oh, it's all right though. I don't know. I wonder if he felt bad. I wonder if people knew it was him or not. But this is a good group though. Die Slow is one of my favorite songs from the 2000s, and really, really good album this one is. Um, anyways, Board Up the House by Genghis Tron. If you're a fan of electronic music mixed with metal, this is probably a must-have. They're probably they're a cyber grind group. They kind of have some metalcore mixed in there too, and looks like it has Ironworks by Dillinger Escape Plan. That's another good electronic metal album. It's actually probably my favorite release by them is Ironworks, which I own. But anyway, so this is just something for some other releases and stuff like that. You know, this is the booklet, and this booklet's actually really nice. I gotta say, because the this one thing that's kind of cool is this little thing right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's indented, kind of like it. I don't know. It's kind of cool. That is. But yeah, if you're a fan of Cybergrind and you somehow haven't heard of this group, then you should really check them out. They're one of the greatest Cybergrind, and in my opinion, one of the greatest grindcore bands of all time. They really, really do a really unique blend of electronic music and metal. And let's see, Perdition City by Ulver. They're a Norwegian multi-genre band. They started out as a black metal group, but then they switched towards electronic music, and this is their first album entirely electronic theme, and I think it got a mixed reaction from fans, a positive reaction from critics, kind of like the last album they did, Themes from William Blake, which was an electronic metal album, kind of. And but this one was entirely electronic, and right now it's highly praised by fans and critics, but I think fans were kind of divided. They didn't like their new electronic route they were doing, but I personally think this is easily one of the best things they've ever done. Ulver is one of my favorite bands, like ever. Easily one of my favorite bands. I just think they're such a unique group. They've done all different types of genres, and they don't really have any albums that I've been like disappointed in. They have such a huge discography too. Very consistent, very talented group of Norwegians, and they've done all different types of genres. They've done synth pop, they've done ambient, they've done like all different types, and started as a black metal band, and all their albums sound different. It's just a really cool group. Really check them out if you, I don't know, like electronic music or metal music, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see. Let's do Smile next. We do the CD first. And this is a really interesting album. So, you know the Beach Boys. Everyone's kind of heard of the Beach Boys. I don't think a lot of people have heard this album, Smile, though. But Smile is a unfinished album. It was intended to follow their album in after album Pet Sounds. And it was supposed to come after that, but like it was delayed. There was a lot of tensions with the group. There's Brian Wilson was kind of had some mental instabilities kind of going on. There was a lot of involvement with drugs. The groups weren't getting along, and they eventually canceled the project. And it's really sad that this was canceled because I honestly think it might be better than Pet Sounds personally. I think it's probably would have been one of the best albums of the '60s that came out. I didn't really like it when I first heard it. I thought it sounded a bit too childish, I gotta admit. But if you're a fan of the more progressive pop sound on songs like Wouldn't It Be Nice or God Only Knows or something like that, I would probably recommend you try this because there's a lot more emphasis on the more experimental side of this group and the more progressive side of this group as well. There's a lot like Heroes and Villains. It's a great song. And Good Vibrations is probably my favorite song they've ever done. That's probably the most well known from this. But Surf's Up's a really underrated song off this. Cabin Essence, wonderful. I even like Vegetables. I don't know why that song is kind of funny to me. I don't know. I like that song really. There's a lot of other good songs on here. I even like the little Element Fire, little creepy tune that Brian Wilson thought that it started fires somewhere. But anyways, this is the vinyl record of it. And it does come with a book. I put the book inside here. And it also comes with this thing. Show it to you, I suppose. This little thing, I just took it off and put it on there. I didn't really know what to do with it. I thought it'd just be annoying to kind of hang up. But that's just the cover, the track list for the for that record, basically. Because the track list, it shows what I believe some people think this was what the original track list was going to be. But obviously it's not the track list on this. But anyway, so that's the inside of it. And I can go through the booklet, even though I'm already. I would say the CD booklet is slightly different. This is the one record. I won't take it out because it's just black, but the other one is also just black, so I won't take that out. It doesn't come with a download code or anything like that, but that's all right. Side. Actually, the album ends on side 3, and side 4 is actually some like a bonus song called "You're Welcome." Like I guess a song that didn't make it on the original album, and then some renditions and studio highlights from the album, like 3 of them, of Cabin Essence, Surf's Up, and Vegetables, I think. Anyways, this is the booklet. My brother just sent me an image, it looks like. I'll look at that later. 1 second. Hold on, let me see here. What else should I do? Let's do A Promise by Shushu. How will we do that one? Okay. One second, hold on. Alright, Shushu is quickly becoming one of my favorite groups. And also that EP I'm making. This group is a really big influence on my music. And I'm making the I Am Not at All EP out January 15th for anyone interested. Anyway, so this is my favorite album by them, but I would say more their brand new album, Girl Basket of Fruit, is probably the one that influenced my EP. But there's the last song, Ian Curtis, Wishlist, is an influence on my work as well. But I think Apostate Commander is a really good song off this too. That's probably my favorite off of it. Probably my favorite Shushu song is Apostate Commander. Why is it all blurry, man? Come on. There you go. All right. Anyways, the original cover is not on the vinyl release, which I'm kind of glad it isn't, because the original cover is basically a picture of a naked Asian man holding a baby. And this is recorded in Vietnam, and I believe he was a male prostitute that kept asking Jamie Stewart, the vocalist of this group, to pay him for sex, and he refused, and he eventually said, "Okay, come with me to this hotel, and I won't have sex with you, but I'll pay you if you let me take a picture of you of this baby doll." And he said, "Okay, fine," and he did it, and that's how the cover was made. And this looks like a bunch of other pictures they took when they were in Vietnam, I suppose. But this is a really good group. It's really hard to describe what genre this is, but I'd label it more as an experimental album, maybe electronic music, some industrial as well. There's some synth punk, and this album is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly depressing though. Like, this almost sounds like it's someone's... This album's all about like suicide and all this other stuff. Like, it was inspired by his father, who recently killed himself before this album was released, I believe. That's what Apostate Commander actually is kind of about his father's suicide, I'm pretty sure. Really, really powerful music in this too. It's just, you wouldn't taken by the cover, but this album is really great and really, really dark, depressing, and sad, and very personal, very abstract and avant-garde too. There's a lot of noise and influence in it as well, but really, really good listen. And they're actually not, I wouldn't say they're, even though they are as abrasive as they are, I would say for me, they weren't too hard to get into. I'm not sure for other people, but I think Jamie Stewart's singing, even though I like it, maybe a bit weird for some people, I would say, but I don't know. I like them a lot, though. They're one of my favorite groups of the 2000s. Anyway, so what else should I do? What should I do next? Let's do All Bitches Die by Lingua, Ignota. This is a EP album that influenced my EP as well. So she's a deaf industrial musician born in California and from Rhode Island, I believe. And that's Eileen Warnos, by the way, if you were wondering. That's her. Her real name's Kristen Hayter, and she her new album Caligula is probably her most well known now, but I still kind of prefer All Bitches Die over Caligula. This is one of my favorite albums. It's my second favorite release of 2017. First, obviously, being Steroids. But anyway, so All Bitches Die is a really, really, really great album, and probably my favorite power electronics album. And she's a very, very good vocalist. This album is almost like it's something beautiful, but also just so terrifying and scary as well. That's Eileen Warnos on the cover. She kind of is seen, if you don't know who Eileen Warnos was, she was a serial killer who killed some, like, she was a prostitute and a serial killer, and she basically would go towards, what was it? Oh, my cat wants in. Oh, it's on the other side. Okay. Oh, Duke, you want in bed? Hey, bud, sorry about that. You alright? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Alright, anyway, so, on the inside is kind of a little star kind of thing. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so, Eileen Warnos, she was a serial killer and prostitute, and she was, a lot of people kind of see her as one of the only ones that can kind of feel sympathy for, because she had an incredibly troubling upbringing. she was kind of raped and abused and rejected her whole life. She eventually found a oh, Duke, be careful, Ben. She found a lesbian lover later, and she would prostitute basically for money. And I think she was I hadn't studied her case incredibly well, but I believe some person tried to attempt to rape her, and she killed him in self-defense. But then she got an idea that she could kill her customers and take their money, basically, and that's what she did, and that's how she became a serial killer. And she would steal their cars and take the license plate off of it so people can track her. And she was eventually caught, though, and they originally thought she was in a duo. Duke, don't step all over my stuff, dude. Don't do that, man. Okay. But she was eventually caught, and she claimed that she worked alone because they originally thought that they were a duo. But her girlfriend tested against her, and she was given the electric chair. But she samples her in this because she feels that, I guess, Kristen Hader, she feels that she can relate to what Eileen Wuornos went through, because she's also a victim of abuse. And Kristen Hader is a really, really, really phenomenal vocalist, and has such eerie kind of screams, has such an eerie atmosphere, but when it's beautiful, it's just beautiful though. She's a really, really good singer. And she has a lot of religious themes in her music, but I think she sang in like a church choir or something like that in her school, but she was an atheist her whole life. But I think she said she recently got interested in Roman Catholicism, I think. Not sure if she converted, I won't exactly say that, but I don't know. I would assume that she probably just has religious themes in her music because maybe she finds the concept of religion interesting, or or maybe she just because she used to be in the church choir, but I could be wrong. She could have converted, I don't know. I'm not sure what her religion is now, but Duke, stop, bud. Don't step all over my stuff, okay, bud? Anyway, so that's Lingua's Ignota. All Bitches Die. So that's a really cool colored record too. So anyways, I'll do Boris at Last Feedbacker. They're a Japanese drone metal band from Tokyo, I believe. And it also came with this poster, which I put on my wall already. But anyway, so Boris is probably my favorite Japanese. Actually, Fishman's is probably my favorite Japanese band now, but they were my favorite Japanese group for a while, though. This is kind of supposed to act as one long song. I do prefer Flood over this, which is also supposed to act as one long song, but I think this is one of the more popular releases, and this is probably my second favorite release by them, but it's still a really good album. Dude, stop, bud. Don't step all over my stuff, dude. Oh, crap. Look what my cat just did. Oh, well, still love you, dude, but alright. The people are going to be mad at me now. No. Crap. Oh. Why are you going to do that, buddy? Why? Anyway, so, alright. Lost my train of thought. Okay, anyway, so, what else is there? What else should I do? Alright, Blackstar, David Bowie. This is the album he made before he died. And honestly, now I honestly think it just might be his best album, in all honesty, in my opinion. So this album is incredible. One of the best albums of 2016, easily. And I honestly think it just might be his best release now. And it's just heartbreaking. Listen to the experience you kind of get knowing that he passed away, how great of a musician he was. It's just heartbreaking listen, but it's just so well produced. And I can't believe David Bowie can still sing as well as he did, even though he was dying at the time. And this vinyl is also just really constructed so well too. Let me show you. Hold on. You could probably see that a lot better than I can in real life, but it has a bunch of lyrics, is all in all black and a glossy kind of finish. I think he actually cited Death Grips and Boards of Canada, Kendrick Lamar as an influence on this, I believe. I'm pretty sure. That's the booklet it comes with. I love it when albums come with booklets. It doesn't have anything on the inside of the thing, but there's not a... Oh, crap, what was that noise? Alright, anyways. It doesn't come with a download code, but I would expect it one because of the cutout thing. Also, the stars say Bowie. I'm not sure if you knew that, but that's a cool thing. What else should I do? Let me think. That is this one. Soul Riot for New Zero Canada by Godspeed, Black Emperor. And they're a Canadian post-rock band. And this is an EP that came after their first, technically not first, but their first album that people have actually heard, because they did release this Amps, Fucked, or whatever it's called, that cassette tape that no one's ever heard, but it's supposed to be their claim it's their first release. But it's not, no one has ever heard it. But anyway, so this one came after Soul Riot. I mean, this one came after F Sharp, A Sharp, Infinity, basically, which is a really great album. This is a really great EP. I think it's easily one of their best releases. I would still prefer Lift Your Skinny Fist over this, but I think I prefer this over F Sharp, A Sharp. But this group always has really great packaging. This is in Hebrew, looks like. Not sure what that says in Hebrew. Maybe it says on here, but I have it upside. No, I don't. Not sure what that says in Hebrew, but you feel free to translate that if you'd like. I'm pretty sure it's Hebrew. And I can take the, there we go, that's side A, and that's side A, and that's side B. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is a little note it comes with. I think it's the spoken word dialogue in BBF3, I'm pretty sure is what it is. Haven't really read it, but I really like little inserts. Godspeed You Black Emperor kind of has with their releases. Let me try to, hold on one second. What the heck is going on, man? There we go. All right. Yeah, that's it. So that's the Godspeed You Black Emperor album. And if you're a fan of post rock and you somehow haven't heard this album, then you should really check it out. They're easily one of my favorite bands of all time. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's do Terrifyer by Pig Destroyer. I hope it didn't actually already show the cover art in here, because I feel like I'd get taken down if I show it. But I'm not going to show you the cover because it has tits on the cover. So, but this is a grindcore band from Virginia. And I think I actually like this more than their album Prowler in the Yard. It's a concept album. And Scott Hall is an incredible guitarist. The guitar work on this is so good. What do you expect from Scott Hall? He's also in other groups like Agoraphobic Nosebleed. Pretty good group. Also a cybergrind group. Agoraphobic Nosebleed is, but I don't think they're as good as this band, obviously. He was also in Anal Cunt, which is kind of seen as a joke grindcore band, but he was in that, and he's one of the greatest guitarist in grindcore easily, in my opinion. Scott Hall is. And drumming on this is really good too, but I think the guitar work definitely steals the show. Vocals on this are, oh god, this is such an awesome album. So if you're a grindcore fan, you need to check this out. Okay, let's see. Next, let's do let's see. What else is there? What else should I do? Let me think. Alright, let's do Kindred Burial. This is an EP from 2012. Burial is a dubstep future garage musician from England. And his album Untrue is probably his most popular work, but I think I prefer this over Untrue. A really great EP, easily one of the best releases of 2012, and easily probably one of the greatest EPs of all time, in my opinion, too. This is a really great album. I won't take it out, because the record's just black, but that's it. There's not really much else to it. That's it. It's just kind of a sleeve. But he also recently, I think last year, he made a compilation of all his EPs from 2011 to 2019. I forgot what it was, but something like that. But this is on it, and I really want to check that out. But it's only on CD. But maybe I can get it in the future or something. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. There you go. That's right. That's the right way. Okay. Let's see. What else can I do? Let's do how about this one? Let's do Loop, Finding Jazz Records by Jelinek. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's a ambient techno glitch musician from Germany. And I'm gonna say this. Well, for one, I got two things that might be controversial. For one, this is probably my favorite ambient techno album, which means I prefer it over selected ambient works, and I prefer it over Music Has the Right to Children. But that might be a bit unpopular of an opinion, but what's even less popular, well, I wouldn't say, I don't think you guys would really care, but the packaging on this is not good. I'm just going to say that outright. I honestly kind of thought this was a bootleg at first because the packaging on this was so, like, just mediocre, I guess. Just, this almost looks like it's crooked, this little thing. I don't know, but this is just the back, and that's just it. Nothing else on it. I don't know. And it comes with a download code. And I peeled this off because I honestly thought that you needed to peel this off to get the download code at first, but this is the download code. It's just pasted on here. And labels aren't very interesting. I don't know. This is a great, great album, though. It's one of my favorite electronic albums. But I don't know. Just packaging, not too impressed. I'm not going to lie. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe some people really like the minimalism, I guess, because this, I guess you can say it does kind of fit the theme of the album because it's really kind of minimalist and chilled release, I guess. Maybe something you can maybe study to. Something, but I don't know. Its packaging wasn't too great, but the album's incredible. Anyway, so let's see, what else should I do? How about we do yeah, let's do Irony is a Dead Scene by Dillinger Escape Plan. This is the one that came today. And this is an EP they did with Mike Patton. Dillinger Escape Plan. Even I remember in this one video I said, if anyone says what their favorite metalcore band and it's not Converge, just slap them. Because the Converge is obviously the right answer. Now I got to slap myself. I just actually did. Because I think Dillinger Escape Plan is better than Converge. I got to say that. I honestly think that now. Really, really great band. One of my favorite metal bands is Dillinger Escape Plan. And this is an EP they did with Mike Patton. Mike Patton, incredible vocalist. He's in so many good bands like Mr. Bungle. He's in Faith No More. He's in, what else is he in? There's this one group he was in where it's kind of a weird group, but he's in so many groups. You get the point. But anyway, so he... basically their first album, the vocalist left, and I guess they needed to record a new release, so they got Mike Patton to be on vocals, and then they released this 4-track EP, and it's a lot of people consider this to be the best release Dillinger Escape Plan has ever done. I think it might be my favorite release by Mike Patton personally, but I would say Ironworks. I prefer Ironworks over this, but still a really great EP. Probably my second favorite release by them though. Doesn't come with a download code, but that's all right. And that has lyrics. There's also an Aphex Twin cover on it. The last track is an Aphex Twin cover. This isn't very long of a EP. It's only 18 minutes. Very short. And I feel like it could have been longer. Really, really great. But Mike Patton does a really good job. And it's really interesting combination because he kind of still has the vibe of singing that you found in a Faith No More album. But he... still really kind of sticks to a really good sound of Dillinger Escape Plan too. Really, really good collaboration this album is. EP, I mean. Alright, anyway, so let's see what else is there. What else should I do? When the Kite String Pops by Acid Bath. And look at this cover, please. Just look at this cover. Yep, look at this cover. This is John Wayne Gacy, Pogo the Clown, on the cover, the serial killer. Yeah, that's him on the cover. It's a painting that he did while he was on death row, apparently. In the back is another painting by him. And there's Another painting by him right there. It even credits him in the thing. Yeah, you probably already know who John Wayne Gacy was. He was a clown, convicted serial killer. He took a bunch of young boys, raped them, and put them in his crawl space. And killed 30 something people, I think. But they were kind of a really edgy band, as you can kind of tell, and they also used a painting by this what was it? This one guy they called Dr. Death. I forgot his name, but he was assisted in suicide, and they used the painting he did. The cover as of their second album, Pagan Terrors and Tactics, and they also used a drawing by Richard Ramirez on their EP edits, I think. This is probably my favorite sludge metal album, though. Personally, is my favorite sludge metal album. And they're from Louisiana, which Louisiana has a really big sludge metal scene. Jax Riggs is such a great vocalist. He's the vocal ability he's able to do is just insane, because it's like he can sing, and like has a really great voice, but he also just, the way he screams is just incredible too. And it's so interesting that he can go from straight up death metal in some songs, and then he can just do this really kind of softer, lighter ballad. And actually, my favorite song on this isn't even a metal song. My favorite song is Scream of the Butterfly, which is like a grunge song kind of. And a lot of diversity on this too. There's some psychedelic rock, there's some sludge metal, there's some death metal, there's some grunge, some country. There's all different types. It's really diverse too. Really great album. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of sludge. Let's see, what else is there? I think this is the last one, right? I'm pretty sure. Hope I'm not missing anything. But Future Days by Can, German krautrock band, and Germany had a really big impact on music in the 70s with like their early innovative electronic music. A lot of them were from Germany, but also krautrock, style of rock music from the 70s. It was psychedelic rock, some progressive rock, some electronic music, and stuff like that. And it was almost completely done by Germans, basically, in the 70s. Like almost completely dominated by people from Germany. And Can was probably the most well-known, I'd probably say. And Tego Megu is probably their most popular release, I'd say. It's generally considered to be their best, because it's also their most experimental one, I'd say. And this one is I think the third installment in a trilogy. The second was Edgy by Miyagi, and this is the least popular of the trilogy, but I personally think it's their best now. I really, really love Future Days. So, especially the last track, Bel Air. It's not as experimental as a Tego Magoo, but it's really, really kind of aquatic kind of vibe it takes on this, which is a really, really nice sound. And the last track, Bel Air, just might be one of my favorite songs of the 70s. It's a really, really, really good album, this one is.